Welcome back, everybody. We got our second best of one underway here in the RGN Pro Series. This is going to be some Group A action, as we've got Luminosity versus Enemy. And if you guys aren't familiar, Enemy was previously known as Tempo Gaming, as they were having some decent results in our North American qualifier and made it on into the Pro Series here. So we're on Inferno.
It's a pretty recognizable roster, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got... Honestly, I'm going to highlight right first and foremost, Kusta is one of the players that I'm going to highlight as my players to watch on the Enemy front, as he can have some huge impact on the field, especially once he gets that op on his hands.
I have heard, however, that if Kusta, I think he's as pointed out to me by one of their teammates, the sole Asian on the team, if he doesn't get enough sleep, then he doesn't perform that well.
Honestly, I could say that for every player, I think, but
hey,
it's true.
I'm just going with what was pointed out to me by one of their teammates, who I shall not name.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I think that could definitely be said for any player. You need to get your sleep, and honestly, we were even talking about it recently, how a lot of players are the athletic type. They're actually making sure that they make a point of like Semphis and his athleticism and just the outside of the game, how you treat yourself. I think definitely changes how you perform within the game. But anyhow, we could
talk
for days on that, I'm sure. But
oh yeah, man. Oh, I told you when I was playing competitively, I would just fast the whole day before a match.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of different ritual and stuff that can come into play with things. And again, this is Group A, so the other teams inside of this group, we got Method, again, Paradox previously, as well as Next Up. And I'm interested to see how they do, as, again, coming from our North American qualifier. We actually ended up bringing in 4 teams just because we had VVV and Cloud9. We had some issues there with getting them involved. For example, Cloud9 just doesn't have the schedule to allow for the matches here. So again, we had to bring in some other teams and such.
Right.
But
it's awesome and sad at the same time that they're so busy that they can't compete with our tournament, but it's cool since they have so much on their plate.
Exactly. It happens, right? It happens. But we can see Pistol Round now underway. Enemy starting off on the CT side. I think that is a good start for them, as I would favor Luminosity here. So being that they're on the favored side, we'll see how this works out for them.
Let's see objective here. Looks like their eyes are set on the A-bomb site for the time being. Still have one player watching the flank. That's PTR. Now, and a spotted Banana works up towards the A side. It is going to be an A split. And for Enemy here, they're both stacked on top of the balcony. Anomaly doesn't get the job done. Uber gets the trade. However, his has been revealed. Tries to drop down, can't get there in time. And Enemy is way out of position here. No, never mind. ZNF Kusta already get there in time. I don't know how that even happened. It looked like they were stacking towards the B side, but Anger and Pyth here, last 2 up. Can they do it?
Now only Pit, and he is going to take down one, and Gusta drops right. What? The quick 3K? Are you joking me, Pit? What? Comes up from the spammable box and takes down all 3 within seconds. My God.
Milliseconds, man.
Pit,
that
you
was
are
absurd.
a madman. You are absolutely insane.
I can't believe that just happened. How fast that succession of frags was, unbelievable. That was instant headshots. 1, 2, 3, flicking back and forth. I can't believe it. That's why we imported this guy from Europe, and he's here to stay. My God, Pyth, what a monster.
Yeah, I don't think Luminosity want to give up that guy anytime soon, as Pit coming in with big highlight reel material in the first round here of the first group stage match for Luminosity. So if we can continue on that note, I fear for Enemy in this
Oh my
match.
God, that's how you start a match. Oh.
Whew. Yeah, that is a great start to a match and a tournament. Come out swinging, as now Luminosity will be in anti-eco territory, but once again we do see it's not an eco from the CT side. We got forced up pistol armor across the board, and currently they're stacking towards the A-bomb side. They got 2 on the arch side, and they've got ZNF as well as Anomaly on the other side of mid, but it's going to be Uber. Opens up, Pit goes down immediately. So the standout player in the pistol round taken out of the equation, and now how does Enemy work this? They've got the advantage in terms of players, but definitely in terms of equipment. Ooh, Lex gets dropped in mid, and he's going to lose a Galil for his efforts as well, and now only 3 players left on the T side grouping up, going towards the B-bomb site.
I'm trying to shut off my geekdom over what just happened, but now Luminosity trying to make their way in towards B. Already suffered 3 frags, still without any trade, still without much HP loss on the enemy side. Finally, PTR puts him on the board, but Ryu, that's 2. And Kusta ends the round. So all tied up 1-1. And that was quite anticlimactic for Luminosity, coming off of such a stellar victory as the previous round was delivered by Pyke. Now all tied up, and that strat by Luminosity, they did a slow work and then eventually tried to reroute towards Banana, but their trades weren't on point. They lost the 2 players early without much trade potential or setup for that matter, and now all tied up and suddenly they're on an eco, and what a roller coaster of momentum they're on right now. After that pistol round, winning it in such decisive fashion in the end, and then losing their anti-eco in a devastating manner. Really interesting match already, Chad.
Man, Kusta, he's gonna try and hide here as pops a flash to try and set back this arch side push. It's gonna be Kusta and Ryu to come up with 2, but they've got a flank coming in to hit now. The last one alive, 1 tap onto Kusta there. And he's gonna try and find some more for his efforts as he's gonna try and gather the bomb. Uber gets taken down to a single hit point. Trying to make it a little bit more expensive, but not able to do so. Only the 1 frag coming in on the round. So good stuff from enemy there. Again, they realize that arch side is where the majority of the action is going to go, and they deal with it accordingly. Again, I like the way Kusta just falls off. He's got an MP7. He could stand his ground, but instead lets his teammate come in to help him out, and then they decide to take that fight. So good stuff. Enemy now moving up 2-1. And the fact that they only lose a single player means that they've got a little bit in their economy here. Kusta actually getting an op this early. I think he suspects that they could be dealing with a force buy, but that is not the situation from the T side.
Not the situation, indeed. I had in that 1 versus 5 with Pyke. I had my finger on my power button, just ready to shut my computer off if he would have done that again. Thankfully, that is not the case. And already down 2 players. Luminosity can't even make their way out of their own mid. Tragic round for them. And everything they bought just went down the toilet. Unfortunate round for Luminosity and enemy. Going with an early aggression on a round where they still have SMG in play. Interesting decision. I like it though from enemy, keeping Luminosity, on their heels, because now Luminosity has to figure if these guys are willing to push on a round where you're generally not supposed to, they're probably gonna do it again sometime.
Yeah, as now AKs across the board. Luminosity do not have an op in their hands. Of course, Kusta with his playing on arch side. And the CTs, take a look at the play here as, wow. The T's, they attempt to go for this banana play to take control of it, but they literally just went into what enemy's strategy is designed for, which is the bottom of banana smoke with 2 incendiaries to layer the entirety of banana.
First degree burns.
Yeah, Peter and Pit both below 25% HP to start off their rifle round. That's never the way you want to kick things off.
Exactly, especially after not even seeing an enemy and you're already just destroyed at the beginning. Super frustrating as a T in this scenario. But we are on to first real gun round. And Luminosity want to head up towards Banana here. No control from them on the alt mid or apartments area. However, nothing attempted by enemy. So, bit of a stalemate. An interesting one in that regard. Enemy totally cool with just being entirely in the dark when Luminosity decides to execute. And is that confidence from enemy, or is that just the way they like to play? Not too sure yet. We are going to see, though, coming into the site. ZNF gets the first one. Quick trade by Peter. Just 1 in the back of the site. Can't get more than 1. And now 3-on-3. Enemy's already there, and the bomb still has not yet been planted, though. So enemy on their way, but not quick enough. Now the rotate's underway.
Very low HP on all their players, though, on this T side. As Anomaly coming in from Banana. They've got Ryu just staring into the smoke, waiting for it to dissipate. PTR is going to go down first and foremost. They take down Apply as well. Anger is going to drop, and the retake comes to a close, and that was kind of what I expected, to be honest, being the HP counts, but Peter seems a little bit surprised in the way Anomaly peeked in and took him down, but again, enemy picking up that round. Critical one as they continue their success on the CT side. Luminosity with their round loss bonus actually going to decide to buy up here. The downside being that they're going to have not the greatest nade set. They've got Peter picking up a smoke and a Molotov. They do have a couple flashes, a couple smokes, so they've got a little bit to work with, but in terms of optimal grenades, a lot of times you want a little bit more than that. So see how this goes for themselves as they're going to send Anger up alternate mid. Kusta opens up, takes down Pit immediately.
That's what
they
you're
try and
talking
take up
about.
T-stairs, and yeah, very high impact play there as now down a man in the advantage to the CTs.
And I love what they do after, or it's Kusta, what he does after. He gets the pick at mid, immediately falls all the way back to Arch side into the safety of his teammates. Oh, never mind. Lex, Anger, both AK headshot apiece on you as they enter into the bomb site. Anomaly does get a trade from the Pit now that his location has been disclosed. Has to stay alive, taking fights from two different angles. Enemy has to hurry up and assist their teammate because Anomaly is doing a phenomenal job of staying alive. Now Uber comes in with a flank. That's how you play it from Pit. Anomaly, I love the work he just did. He saved the round for Enemy.
Yeah, certainly did. That position, such an anchor for that bomb site, as it's very difficult if you want to commit to that frag. You need to send probably at least 2 players to make sure you get the trade. Otherwise, you can kind of dance around, and if you just leave him alone and try and work around him, we see that's exactly what happens, as he gives plenty of time for his teammates to come in, and then finally, after the bomb plants, they're trying to focus on him, but they're blindsided by the other retaking CTs. Great work.
Yeah.
Like you were standing by
Isolate or
Anomaly.
avoid.
Exactly, as they are going to move up 5-1. Luminosity only picking up Pistol on the back of Pit, as he got that crazy 3K that we're going to see highlight clips for quite a while, I'm sure. But
Jesus,
T-side,
that was so amazing.
it really was. It's a beautiful thing to watch as T-side moving up to top mid, taking the lane real estate, but Anomaly from behind the smoke on truck side. Gonna take down one, but it's Nafly and Peter to fire back. So now in a 4-on-3, favorable for themselves. Can Ryu come up with the big frags? He takes down Pit, drops Nafly to about 28 HP, so good damage done, but now leaves it to ZNF and Uber to try and retake.
Yeah, ZNF's already here. Can't say the same for his teammate. ZNF might want to go in beforehand. He's thinking about it. Now his teammate, he's got him at his back. He could basically hold hands and dance their way into the bomb site if they so choose. And just shrouded by so many smokes, they're just going to decide to save here. And I'm going to pause from the enemy front. So I'm not too sure what that's about. We are going to know soon. But enemy in that position, I think they didn't go for it because of the amount of time that they had allotted for the clutch, or is it due to one of the reasons that they paused for? I'm not too sure yet, but we're gonna find out here shortly. But that amount of timing, they had about 15 seconds as they both entered towards Moto, so could have went for it, but decided to save. And interesting that they'd relinquish that round despite having such a lead. They have the money to go for it if they want to, but I'm not too sure. I guess Kusta's AFK. Maybe he should have gotten his sleep. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, looks like he is going to have to deal with some parent aggro. Been there, done that, as
Oh, man.
don't
Chad,
have to deal with it any
we talk
longer,
about this
though,
all the
but-
time. Dinner time?
Oh, yeah.
Dinner time,
I can't
Chad?
go to dinner. I'm in the middle of a raid. What do you think? I can just pause this multiplayer online game? It's not going to work that way. Yeah, no, we we both
Pause
have
the
struggled
game.
through such things. Pause is just a thing of the past. That is the downside, but obviously upside to playing these multiplayer games.
Oh, man.
As-
If his GPA falls below 4.5, they do nasty things to him. Scary life for Kusta. He's just trying to frag, man.
Yeah, and I come from a family where my parents did not understand the video games I was playing either. So I got a feeling that he's trying to defend himself, and I wish they could really see the entire picture. As that's what my parents were missing. They just didn't see.
He's
the whole
on a
picture.
T-side eco, Chad. Like his parents have ops, they got setups. So he's just trying to frag out with the Glock. It's not working.
It's really not. As again, looks like he is back in action here. He's dealt with that parent aggro. He's thrown up a misdirection. If you guys know from Hunter Days of World of Warcraft, just going deep into the nerdy territory.
You're a scum,
here,
Chad. I don't want to hear anything about hunters. I don't want
God.
any of that.
Well, I think they've probably got. I think that's a secret card in Hearthstone as well. We could bring that up. That's a little bit more up your territory, right, Laser? But nonetheless, we got a round starting off
A
here.
little bit.
We got Lex actually not. What is Lex doing? Why does he not have any equipment? I feel like he's gonna figure out late in the round that he could have bought an AK,
He's
but stuck
trying
with
to
a
book
Glock.
it back.
He's going all the way back. He's like, oh, God, what have I done? I don't know if he's actually going to make it back. I think maybe just in time, as he grabs that AK. So they are equipped, but this time that they just utilized to get him a weapon, CT's posted up pretty aggressively, especially on Banana here, as Uber is going to get fully blinded. They're going to try and take him down. He tries to work around the pillar on Banana, but that is not going to work out for him at all. And now the T is just rushing into the bomb site, going to have a free ticket to a bomb plant here.
Yep. Gonna cash that in. Free bomb plant for them, and Uber had a position where he could have just multi-fragged hard, but went down right away. Good flashes from Luminosity, and it's almost like the timing of Lex having to go back actually helped them in the end. But still not out of this yet. His enemies trying to retake in, but the smoke works from Luminosity. Good luck. I mean, you have to pick your poison at this point. Either you save and lose the round, or you rush through the smokes into multiple people looking at your spot with AKs and such. Kusta, ooh, that was a nice shot. His teammate does get traded off. And Kusta's just gonna run away and save his AWP as well as his teammate Anomaly. So 5-3 here, and Enemy losing the last 2 rounds. The previous one that we just saw though was due to a setup. Uber in that position, if he doesn't get 2 frags at least, then the percentage of times that Luminosity win that round is, I'm looking at least 70.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to come up big inside of Banana there, and we saw a simple pop flash from Luminosity was all it took to basically white screen him and then just send a ton of players into its face. And that's actually a big risk from Luminosity, as they're just guessing that there's only a single player behind there. And it's an educated guess, as a lot of strategies on Inferno for CT side are maybe send 3 Banana early and then pull maybe 2 back, or 2 early and then bring 1 back, and then stack that A bomb site once you have control of that lower smoke that comes up at the bottom of Banana. So it's definitely a decent strategy, but again, it requires that person that is posted in Banana to do huge things if they do intend on coming through. And he's going to be actually at the tree this time.
Again!
Doesn't get a single thing done. Pit takes him down. This time they do have ZNF in a better location to try and take these players down, as he slowly makes his way to the second set of oranges here, but he needs to come up massive where Uber didn't, and can't do anything either. Takes Anger down to 16, but Anger ends up with the frag, and now save territory once again. I'm thinking it definitely could be.
Definitely have to say these, and it's not like what you say, Chad, is this was not a build order loss. It was due. Even though Uber went down in the same way both these previous or last 2 rounds, Uber had a big chance both those times to come up with massive frags, but instead Luminosity just did a similar pop flash. Uber got caught off guard, and how does Enemy recover from that? If ZNF, the only other player left to engage for Enemy, doesn't get any kills, then the round is pretty much over, and that's why we're seeing numerous players save once again for Enemy. And it's not a build order loss, because Uber could have fragged out both those times, but doesn't get any kills, and in my opinion, they have to stop doing that immediately. If it doesn't work both those times, and you do it 2 times in a row, that's just, it screams frustration for me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna have to do instead, as that's honestly a really popular way to hold Banana, but if it's not working, again, you gotta figure something else out, as it looks like Uber ZNF will keep our eyes on them for the moment. Actually, Kusta opens up, takes down Lex, but they're going to try and just train down Kusta here, as he gets taken down by Nafly, so only 1 frag for himself. They're going to try and wrap around further. Nafly with the AWP takes down Ryu. Now it's only going to be Anomaly inside of the site, and he's in a bit of a cheeky spot here, but he's going to get taken down. Pit from up above ends up finding the frag, and now ZNF and Uber last 2 on the field. And once again, in an awkward situation, do you retake? I don't like their chances if they go for the retake, to be honest.
Yeah, they gotta be sick of saving at this point.
Yeah,
ZNF
exactly.
goes down to Naf, and I love when I see that. Who was it? Naf came up mid, got the frag onto Kusta, swapped the weapon, picked up the dead Kusta's AWP, and blasted his teammate. Just cool stuff from Naf, and give his teammates an AWP coming into the next round. So Enemy dropping another one, and that round they had a good start. Kusta variated his play a little bit though. Generally, when he gets that op frag at mid, he'll fall back to the back of Moto instead of going into spawn. And he went into spawn, didn't have anywhere else to really go as he went for the peak. It's generally safer to play from library or Moto, so you have more room to wiggle around with your AWP in that spot. So, minor adjustment from Kusta, probably would have gave enemy a much better chance that round.
Plays a little bit more passive. Could have been another situation. I like Luminosity switching it up, though. Again, they've had that success with Banana. A lot of teams maybe even would go for, well, if it's not broken, just continue to go Banana and bust into B. But instead, they see that Kusta's picking mid. They even lose a player to it, but decide to train on his location and end up taking him down. So good stuff there as Luminosity. They're going to tie things up 5-5. Enemy with pretty darn good start, but faltering here and now is. We will see Uber, though, finds one onto Nav. So early frag down into Banana as he's going to have ZNF playing from Spindles here. That pop flash, I'm not sure if that was from Uber, but nonetheless, it was going to be just fully blind team of T's try and take in ZNF. Actually, I think both his were two fully seeing terrorists, but Lex now 1-on-5 situation.
Yeah, they got eyes.
Way away. I think they do. But I think it was Pitt or Peter, one of the two that went in first. They were completely blinded. I'm not sure if that was a team flash or what it was, but yeah, kind of an odd take there from Luminosity into that B bomb site. Doesn't work out for him.
Yeah, enemy taking their first round in quite a while. So what's the adjustment from Luminosity? They still have enough to go with a full buy and even next round. On top of that, a big turning point for enemy. They need to establish themselves on the CT side now. Otherwise, Luminosity might walk away with a good T side half. Kusta over towards B this time. So minor adaptation from enemy. As if Kusta was at middle at the beginning of the round, he would have had an easy op frag onto one of the Luminosity members taking control of mid. Instead, bringing him over towards Banana. Only problem seeing, and I'm talking from experience on my previous teams, is when you switch your setup like this, when it's say Kusta had the B spawn and he wants to go for the B pick, sure, it might give you an early advantage over towards the B site or whatever site you decide to stack that you don't normally play, but it alters the setup at the other bomb site. So at least he's going to get back there in time, though.
Yeah, he is ZNF, though, completely alone as a smoke comes in and prevents Kusta from getting anything done. He's going to show up in the library and realize he's completely smoked off there as well. It's going to come down to Anomaly and Ryu as they're both in pit. Anomaly playing right at the truck as they all take in on that T side from Arch side. Nafly on Ryu. I don't think they realize, though, Anomaly's still alive in the pit, but Pit's going to take him down. Kusta on the Peter, so it is a 2-on-4. And at this point, are they going to go for it? They've been saving, like we had stated, so many rounds here. And yeah, they're just going to make the call.
They got a bad case of the saves, Chad.
Yeah, I like the disciplined play as they get more out of those rifles a little bit. But at some time, it's just frustrating that you're finding situations that completely unfavorable to go to try and win the round. You just got to sit back and try and keep those weapons for the next.
And the spot that gave up the opening frag for enemy was Arch side, was Kusta's position. So Kusta going over towards the B side, as I stated earlier, could have gave Luminosity an opening onto the A bomb site. So that's the risk you run by going for that opening pick or by moving your opera around based upon his spawn. And couldn't get anything done, now all tied up. Luminosity back to their winning raise on the gun rounds. And now 3 to go here in the half. Luminosity, in my opinion, have already put enough on the board to feel cozy and warm coming into the second half. They are moving up towards B for their players. And did they just smoke themselves off? No, that had to be a CT smoke. Unless I'm just crazy at this point. And I'm surprised enemy is hanging around this long. And entrance into B from Car. Already getting another frag is enemy. And pushing a player up through alt mid here, Ryu. There's a big opportunity to get his flank on. The problem being, if Luminosity decide to come back towards mid, he may give them an opening. But in this situation, enemy wins this round 80% of the time.
Yeah, just purely because of the positioning. Again, if we see the T's try and take back towards mid, like you were highlighting, Ryu some flankage going on there as he's going to be hanging out just at hay bale. He doesn't get aggressive, though, and I like that fact in that, yeah, we can see that he could technically make it all the way to the bottom of Banana before being spotted out. Peter is looking currently behind for a flank, but we'll hold that thought as Kusta opens up. Nafly goes down first and foremost, and we'll see if they decide to continue this pressure, and they have no time now that I look at it. 20 seconds left, and they're going to smoke off Spindle, hope that that's enough to get him into the bomb site, but crucial flashes come out, and it's going to leave Anger in a very bleak situation. Enemy picking up their 7th round, and it's good that they're finally putting some more on the board at the end of the half here. Again, they had a really nice string of 5 rounds, but the only 2 that they've gotten since then, round 11 and 13. So it would be nice for them to end this 9-6. Like you had stated, Luminosity still with a number that's going to make them feel happy about things coming into the next half at 6.
Yeah, it's all right. Obviously, we would want more, but you know, another gun round here from LG, and what's been going on at Banana, it looks like they want to pressure in, but enemy has been doing a good job of thwarting any early round presence there from Luminosity. Now working up through the smoke is Pipe, however. So want to take the fight early and looking to set up for a pop flash, perhaps. Let me get my eyes on that real quick. What's going on at Banana? It doesn't look like they're really set up for the trade. No, never mind. It's just posted up at the corner, trying to be sneaky about it. Ooh, gets the frag, gets out of there. 1 HP, shred of health, and he gets out of there. Good stuff from Uber. Even though it was a really risky way to play that angle. And enemy here still just thwarting that Banana pressure of Luminosity. And I was highlighting it earlier, they're still trying to go for it because they want to establish pressure early towards B, but enemy is doing such a good job of being sneaky around that B bomb site, not giving up any early advantage and still providing damage to Luminosity. So this is what the plan is from Luminosity, but they just haven't been able to execute it because enemy has been doing such a good job of keeping it uneasy for Luminosity towards Banana. But they have traded 2 for 1, and now LG taking into the A fight.
Ryu, inside of a smoke there. I don't think you realized that, for one, he was completely blind, but that's one of the positions where they could see his entire body sticking out of that smoke. So he goes down immediately. It is a 3-on-3. Uber very low in there. Super grouped up. Anger with a good set of spray. Uber, see you later, buddy. Kusta, that flick was that was not for his teammate. That was intended for an enemy. But he's just going to take that cue as his time to save, as they don't have a lot of money coming into the last round of the first half. So once again, we see
a double kill in my book,
out.
Chad.
Yes. I'm surprised that enemy didn't read that very well, though, as they lost Anomaly, as he took down Lex in mid, decided to just kind of sprint down mid, hoping to catch them inside a Banana, but he got peeked by a Terrace that was still holding in mid, and him going down.
But did you check the time on the clock, though? Like, I think the reason that happened is because of how little time was left on the clock. Enemy did not believe that they would try to fake
all the way back. Yeah, that's fair. No, it's definitely, yeah, could have been what the case was. So I will leave it to that. But now 7-7, last round of the first half. Who is going to technically win the half? I think Luminosity, regardless of how this round goes. Again, 7 rounds, fantastic, but would feel nice to get that 8th in. Same to be said for the CT side. But Anger takes down Kusta early on here, and now the pressure is on this A bomb site.
Yeah, either way, this last round falls. I still think it favors Luminosity. But Ryu coming from the pit, Anomaly as well, helping him out. PTR, as well as Math Remain. Oh, what a shot by Peter. 6th up with the AWP. He's got to get himself set up, though. He is going to be the bomb planter. And enemy don't rush in. They instead of giving away, or instead of taking the fight early, they opt to not give away their position. Oh, doesn't work out for him, though. ZNF goes down. Uber remains trying to take down player in pit. Runs out of bullets. That's a problem with the silenced M4. Make your choice and live with it. And Luminosity, 8-7. Barely squeak out the half, but either way that round went, I gotta favor Luminosity here.
Yeah, certainly. And if you guys were betting people, we do have eBettle as one of our partners here, and it is for people that are outside of North America, as betting things are a little bit awkward in that sense. But anyhow, for anybody outside of
How
that region,
dare you do what you want with your money?
right? Terrible, terrible thing. Anyhow, e-battle. You can go ahead and bet on that if you're outside of that region, and it is, again, for real money. And the specific odds on this match were actually 1.06 to 7.15, enemy being at the 7.15. So that means if you bet $1 on enemy, you would get 7 in return. That is some insane odds, quite honestly. That being said, again...
That is absurd. Like, the amount of money that could be made based... So you give, what, enemy in my opinion, I'm going to go a random number, 29% chance of winning. 7 to 1? That's crazy. A lot of money to be made.
Pretty good odds there. That being said, again, I would see Luminosity being the favorite, but I don't know. That's some good stuff. So again, eBettle, check it out if you guys are interested in doing some of the real money betting. But we're just waiting for this second half to go live. And I do want to remind you guys, we got 2 more best of ones coming up after this, and they should prove to be interesting ones as well. As we got Keystars making an appearance at the end of the night. That's going to be versus Ace Gaming. But our next match after this one is going to be Lunatic versus Team Liquid. And I'm really excited for that one. As Lunatic, they've been showing some decent things in CVOP, kind of tying some Tier 1 teams and that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see how they play it out.
Smashed,
and I
Chad.
think it'll be interesting. I'm going to say it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a bloodbath. I'm calling them out right now.
All right, and to be fair, they did face off in CVOP fairly recently, and it was a bit of a dominant performance for Liquid there. I think it was 16-3 on Inferno, and then 16-9 on Overpass. So it was a 2-0 victory. Nonetheless, we'll see how that one goes. I'm excited for it regardless, as enemy now on the T side, Luminosity on the favorite side of Inferno. Are we going to see some craziness on the pistol round from Pit, or is it going to be someone on the enemy side now to create their own highlight?
I forgot all about that.
Oh, man.
That's the highlight of the month, and maybe even more for me, the way Pipe did that. Looks like enemy want to take up towards the B site. Already getting dropped a player early, and Luminosity set up with 3 players. Excuse me, towards the banana side. So now that enemy has lost their early round advantage with the rush, they are gonna just slow things down towards banana. It's a little bit shaky with the contingency plan here for enemy. They are just going to group up, but that player over towards alternate looked a little unsure. So yeah, I don't favor enemy's chances here.
They're going to try and take it to this bomb site. Smoke goes down for CT side, and they actually smoke off the site in a way that they can get the bomb down without fully clearing things. That being said, ZNF, he's just going to hop on through, and he takes down 1, but it's Lex and Nafly to come up with 1 apiece. Kusta and Uber trying to save the round in post-plant scenario, but Nafly takes down Kusta. Only Uber left as he's trying to work his way around the front of site, but that's going to be the round as Peter finishes things off. Luminosity, big pistol round pickup, as now they've won both. And quite honestly, if you win both pistol rounds and you're losing a match, there generally is going to be some outscale. Yeah, something is amiss. So that's good stuff for Luminosity, picking up, again, their second pistol.
Yeah, if you don't win the match after winning both pistols, I mean, not only does it, in theory, give you the first 3 rounds, it also gives you positioning on the rest of the half, economically speaking. So, shouldn't surprise me that Luminosity wins this. And if you can win the match after losing both pistol rounds, then hey, that just speaks volumes about your gun rounds and your ability to come back. But enemy, what a nade. That is so crippling. How much damage is that? What, 50, 50, almost 100? Jesus, that's like 180 damage nade. Crazy stuff. Anger, lurking inside of the smoke. He wants that money. Always getting all of it. For Anger, looking for the ace here. Gets it. Anger. So much money in his pocket right there. He just stacked at least $3,000 in his pocket. I wish I could get a paycheck like that.
Looking good for Luminosity, as, like you stated, Anger picking up pretty darn good chunk of change, as the nades did a lot of the work, and he just stands on the other side of the smoke and finishes them all off. So, again, good stuff there, as we do see a buy coming out from enemy. They have actually got 2 Galils on the field, so they can get a little bit more in the front of nades. It's going to be Ryu and Anomaly going with that, as send 2 players quickly up second mid, as well as they're trying to go up into apartments. It's going to be Anomaly with ZNF right behind. And if you look at the CT setup, they're actually leaving backhauls completely clear. It's going to be Pitt playing underneath the porch on truck side. Nafly now looking to get aggressive up here and might spot out Anomaly as he does spot his shoulder, so gets at least the information that a player's up there, and it's going to be nice for the CTs as they're no longer completely in the dark, as that's kind of what you see when you don't have backhauls control in terms of apartment or banana control, and the Ts have pretty good sense of where they want to go, just being that the CTs don't have a read on them.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping your opponent in the dark is so important, and especially on Inferno, that's what you need to do as a T. You want to take control of banana, make sure the CTs have no vision of banana, then you want to take control of the apartment, make sure no CTs are peeking up there. And where does that leave the CTs? You have to either play default, or you can try to cheat one of those players over from banana. So entirely in the dark here, LG. You can see finally one player moving over towards banana, but the fake is on. From the pit, that's Nap. Trades favoring enemy right now. Not for long, though. Nap from the pit only has one player to deal with. Oh, no, it goes down. So ZNF finishes him off. Anger, as well as Lex, both approaching from the same position. Now looking to split. HP favoring Luminosity here. Here comes Lex from the porch side. Still teammate trying to come up from Moto. Smoke just now dissipating. Anger coming on through. Moto gets the frag under Kusta. We're down to a 1 versus 1. ZNF can't get the frag. And it's going to be Lex winning a very important round there. Is enemy still without their first round on their T side, and that would have been a great start to their minor comeback. But instead, Luminosity barely edge it out, and now it hurts their economy quite a bit. But the round is all that matters.
Yeah, and that's good stuff from Lex. He's had a bit of a quiet map here. He's had 5 frags, 4 assists, but comes up to bat when they need him to, and he clutches the round. So definitely good stuff from his front, as enemy now back in eco territory. They've got 2 smokes on 2 of their players, multiple flashbangs to work with. Looks like they're going to rain through banana here, as 2 nades are going to get dropped towards T stairs. Luckily for the T side, they finally aren't damaged by those double nade. As now Uber trying to take it to the bomb site. He's got help of his teammates, but that's an Anger combined to find 3 frags total. Only Kusta and Ryu left on the field, as Kusta, I don't know what Kusta's doing. No, Kusta's having a bad time in spawn at the moment. It's only Ryu, and he actually gets the bomb set, but now Fly.
He's knifing the wall. I think he thinks it, or he hopes it was his parents or something.
I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, Kusta. His ping's going to be jumping up to not good level, so no fun here from enemy, as they are going to go ahead and unpause. But yeah, no fun at all, as that is going to be another round for Luminosity, and you can see they are definitely in the driver's seat here, but losing a player like Kusta does look like he has had his ping settle, but yeah, no fun at all. They are going to have rifles in the field, though, and Kusta picking up that op.
Wondering, both teams here kind of stutter footing, like taking their time to talk to each other instead of play here, figure out the solutions. Let's actually have a good round. That's what I'd like to see, but nonetheless, gonna go ahead and carry on, trudge through the issues. Now enemy and get Kusta, their trusty opper, back in the situation. He's working towards banana here. Thinking about going for a pop flash, perhaps, over towards B as Luminosity, but you're falling back off of the position, and this is exactly what you want to do on the T side. If you're working at default, you take control of banana, you take control of halls, and then at that point, that's when you make your decision based upon what you've seen both in this round and all the other rounds in the half on where the best position to execute is. So the fact that Luminosity has not provided any defense in halls or banana, enemy, they've already won the beginning of the round battle here on Inferno, and now slowly approaching towards A, but the bomb way back in spawn. They got to go back and get that eventually, but positioning here
20
favoring
seconds.
enemy.
Oh, this is a terrible, yeah, like you had highlighted, the bomb is way back. He's got 18 seconds from when he just picked it up, and his teammates are dying in the process. This is a lost round purely because of not proper coordination on the front of who is carrying the bomb.
Is this due to the Kusta situation? Like there has to be miscommunication.
I guess, but I don't think that's an excuse. Yeah, I don't think that
not at all.
Yeah, it could have been because of that, like you were stating. Although, as soon as I saw him get into the round, he was peeking down Banana. He looked to be in fine shape. I think that kind of falls on Ryu. Again, he's the IGL right now. He's the one that, if there is a lot of madness on something like that going on, you got to calm down everybody in communication and get your round set up. So, unfortunately,
you tell your
that
teammates
falls on
to
him.
listen.
Yeah, exactly, and that was an uncoordinated play, and again, I can't blame anybody but the IGL in that situation.
Yeah, I have to agree. Gotta take control of the situation, though. Enemy now taking control of this situation. Ryu.
Here we go.
Multiple frags coming at mid. There's Anger as well as Lex, last two remaining, and they have money to go for this, I do believe. Yes, they do. So coming from libraries, Anger and Lex coming from middle. Why are they going for this? They have the money. There's very little rounds left. In my opinion, they should be going way faster.
Yeah, looks like Anger's just going to grab a frag onto Uber and fall off. So they're just going to let the round go to enemy. And I like that at least Anger stays around and he gets one frag, as any frags at this moment makes the T side even more expensive in the next round, as they do not have a lot going for them. So rebuying anything in this position, not so fun, and they're going to send one of their weak players down mid
for their comeback.
Ryu dropped to 7 HP as he slowly waddles down mid, so they are going to keep those 3 players alive. Anger and Lex hanging on to their weaponry, and you can see that the CT side, like you were stating, they didn't really need to save, but they decide to go with it anyhow, and they get rifles across the board, and they leave a little bit left in their economy instead of losing those rifles potentially, and I guess buying them up. That's the mentality behind it. But enemy now up to 8 rounds, still definitely in the driver's seat of Luminosity, and honestly, enemy needs to pick up some consecutive rounds here, find some ecos to find their way back into this match.
Well, and in that situation, should they go for it or shouldn't they? It comes down to, oh, I'm going to save that thought, though. Kusta already onto Pyth, peeking mid early, and no trade potential there. Very dangerous play from, in my opinion, one of the most cold or calculating players from Luminosity. I'm really surprised he went for that, but Kusta gets it nonetheless. But I'm going to go back to what I was talking about previously. You had inspired this thought for me, Chad. How much your money is worth based upon where you stand economically speaking. Like, say you go down pistol round, like your money is worth more to you than it is for the team that won it, based upon like how much you have and how much you can gain from momentum. So, in my opinion, there for Luminosity, they should have went for that, based because if enemy lose any more of their guns, it's not as big of a deal for Luminosity to lose the guns in that situation as it is enemy. So quite a surprising decision, really.
Yes, now it is going to be an A-bomb site play. Nafly not showing himself until finally he's going to take down Kusta. Almost takes down Uber, but that's going to be Peter to finish that off. And he actually peeks before he has any teammates there. And although he got that one frag, I got to think that now he leaves Anger and Lex in a position where they're just going to save. So, interesting situation, as again, Peter did not need to get that forceful just coming into the site. Yeah, you know, Uber's low, as you probably called that out, was Nafly, but there's so many other T's lurking in wait to try and push through there. A little bit of a mistake on Peter's end, but Luminosity, they're going to have, again, 2 players saving. So once again, they will be able to buy up in this round, as those 2 players specifically have 6,800 and 7,300 apiece.
Yeah, so 13 rounds now. Enemy crawling their way back, 13-9. Getting pretty close here, and even establishing a minor economy is enemy. So Luminosity gotta finish this map off quickly. Otherwise, we might be in for a close one. Hopefully, Kusta doesn't have any more lag or parental issues. There's a good sharp roll. Luminosity, big nade though. Ryu trades this focus. Naf through the smoke. Get 2 big frags from Naf. They got a good crossfire going on at mid. And enemy, interesting decision with the strat. They went for banana control as well as early round mid presence early, and then they had to rush through a smoke, and they took the fight at banana as well as mid at the same time. Yeah, I don't really agree with it.
It's an odd play, and now it leaves ZNF and Kusta top of banana. They've got a minute to work with, but currently smoked off. They are going to rotate another player in here. That's going to be Anger as he shows up at Spindle. I'm just now realizing Peter actually opted to go with a number of nades instead of armor. Interesting. Not that it really matters as he's at that A-bomb site still, but we'll see if it comes into the equation as Anger going to drop ZNF to 4 hit points. Kusta is going to go down, or sorry, ZNF goes down to Lexus. Now Kusta, a very bad spot. Does not want to drop this round. Nice shot onto Peter.
4.5 with the op.
Yeah, so close. He does take down the first one, but not going to be any more success for him as Lex takes him down thereafter. And Lex is having pretty good showing here at the end parts of this CT. Having picking up an AUG. Interesting as Peter gets his op, but the AUG on the field. They got a second scope to follow it up.
Oh, an op and an AUG. At least that equals 6 letters, but not gonna go anywhere else with that. You like that, Chad? I don't know where I was going with that either. But
I'm not sure, but nonetheless.
Enemy strategy there, though, was confusing to me because they rushed 4 players mid. They were trying to trade out mid through the smoke, and then they had one player take aggressively up a Nana. I don't know what the plan was there, because in that situation, it's gonna favor the CTs if they do their nade work right. But gonna go back into this round. Advantage enemy slightly in terms of HP. They do trade 1 for 1 at Banana. Enemy deciding which route they want to take, either towards A or B. It looks like it is going to be a bit of a fake towards A before they execute their B take. And Kusta as well as Ryu, both with smokes here over towards B. So they got a lot of options at this point. The amount of smokes enemy has grants them so many different options. And it looks like they want to just throw a bit of a fake towards B. Peter takes out Ryu. Here they come towards A.
Oh, nice shot there from Kusta as he takes down Fly Anomaly onto Pit as well. And now it's a 3-on-2. All of a sudden, an advantage going to enemy side. And being that Lex is so lit, Peter needs to find a frag early here if they want to go for this. As he is staring tunnel vision towards the pit area, he's going to go ahead and drop an incendiary inside of the graveyard location. No one peeking, though, as they don't have anybody residing there, and it is just going to be a save coming out from Luminosity. So enemy making this pretty darn close. They're going to bring in their 10th round, and you can see on the CT front, they do not have a ton of money behind it. They've got Anger 4,300. They will most likely go ahead and buy up, but we'll see here as it's going to be another round for enemy. They keep those 3 players alive, and they're just bringing it ever so close. And yeah, I'm surprised that they were able to take truck side so easily. Again, their player in pit, they usually have a little bit more results from him, but doesn't come up with it. And 10-14 our score line. And like I was suggesting, buying up around those saved weaponry is Luminosity, and it's honestly not a terrible buy from them. They are missing actually 3 smokes. That's actually not too fun for them. I'm surprised they didn't opt to maybe get rid of some of the other nades and go for smokes instead. It's only Lex and Naf that actually picked those up, but the T side looks like they're going to head up towards top mid early on here. Anomaly already peeking around the corner, and Pit from above comes up with 1, but traded off immediately.
Big nades from Luminosity. I can't believe they can't get more off of that. PTR from the site needs to come up massive with his AWP. Can't connect onto anybody. About to get overwhelmed here. Anomaly. What? He doesn't get the frag. PTR with the no-scope. Just down to 1 player. And that's going to be Lex. Can't find the bomb planter peeking around into the site. Anomaly around the corner. Spots them out. Enemy still in this match. Now bringing it to their 11th round. And what a hectic round that was. Just crazy. An enemy deciding to go up mid quickly. Luminosity with some massive nades, but couldn't capitalize on top of them. We're in. Now we have a good match, Chad, and we still got 2 more to go. I gotta calm down a bit.
Save some of that energy. As again, we do have 2 best of 1s left right after this one ends. I missed it.
In the back.
Oh no, Anomaly gets brought down to 39.
Who's guilty?
Oof, that is not fun at all. I'm trying to look at who's around him.
It like a ZNF or
must
Ryu.
have been. Let's just shame him for the moment here.
Shame.
Right. My camera is just right in his face. All right, I think he felt enough shame. All right, here has
stare at those grains of whatever cows eat. I'm so bad at farming.
That's okay. Me as well. I think Farm Simulator is on sale on Steam sale. But nonetheless, we've got a number of players stacking with Banana. Actually, the B-bomb site was Luminosity, and they actually end up just deciding to get aggressive. They didn't push into that bomb site soon enough, so they throw some numbers down Banana, and as we can see, it doesn't exactly work out. Kusta brought down a little bit here. An anomaly again, he was knifed by his teammate, so that was completely different skirmish, but Peter left as the only player on this A bomb site. This is interesting. Very spread out here are the T's, and they're going to walk right into where Nafly and Anger are hiding at sandbags. Anger goes down immediately. Naf baits him out as he's going to just wait his time. Kusta very low, going to get both of them. He only gets one. Quite honestly, almost had the opportunity. I got to say, he had the opportunity for both, especially with Kusta, how low he was.
Both.
No fun as Peter going to get dropped, and that's going to be Enemy picking up their 12th round. So good stuff as... again, maybe a little bit of misplay. Could have had more, but 14-12 here.
All right, we got our plays video, right, chat? Like, if you haven't checked out any of our plays videos yet, I highly recommend you to do so. But what we need to do, Chad, is have a fails video for our tournament, because that would have been at least number 3, somewhere around there. Because Nat, he could have changed that round. Misplays. There you go, Chad.
The misplays of the week. I think, like, you got, like, Sportsnet that does that, and they got, like, the baseball players that they've got, like, the perfect catch that they should always hit, and it just, like, hits them in the face instead or something like that. We definitely need our own here, Sarah.
That would have been a great clip for it. Naf. Oh, he could have got so much more out of that situation, but let's get back to seriousness as Luminosity already claimed their first frag, and this is their best opportunity in a while. Generally, it's been Enemy who have been getting the openers. Now at 5 versus 4, how do they adjust immediately after getting the frag? And it doesn't look like they're doing too much different, as they're sitting back at mid, playing passively, but they were at the start as well. And Enemy ready to take up Banana. Here they come. Anger onto Uber. Still more to come. Got Lex inside of the site. Lex, teammate Anger goes down, going for the fake plant. Lex does not budge. Really slick play from Lex, but he gets fragged anyways. Wow, Enemy gets 2 more. Kusta and Ryu, one apiece. Lex and PTR go down, and suddenly they have the advantage now. Everything was pointing towards Luminosity, but Enemy, they may just win this match.
Yeah, this is looking promising for them as Ryu is going to blindside Pit as he tries to come into construction. Nafly, last one alive here. He's going to try and take into construction, but obviously he knows Ryu was laying in wait for his teammate before, but Ryu is going to be the one to rotate around the in-game later, finding a 4K on the round, coming up big when his team requires it. And Luminosity, not a lot of money in their economy right now. This should be a save from them. And then we see a 14-14 scoreline. Can Enemy bring it back? And one thing to note as well, we haven't talked on it about it at all here, but Enemy, again, the X-Tempo gaming lineup, they've got AZK in the background coaching their lineup. And again, anytime that I see the Enemy lineup, honestly, they look much improved time and time again. So I put a lot of their success in his lap, as well as obviously some standout plays from the players themselves. But speaking of standout plays, Anomaly takes down Peter as he tries to get Peaky, and it's not going to work out as now down a man.
Yeah, excuse my French, but Kevin Laviter, I want to say his last name is. I've never been able to pronounce it, but the guy has a brain on him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he has a whole lot to offer for Luminosity, but I think they should just take, or Enemy, excuse me. Thank you, Chad. Went a little dyslexic there. I know that doesn't make sense either, but Enemy taking up towards A here. One more frag. Only pistols across the board for Luminosity. It doesn't look like this round's going to go their way, so we're going to be looking at 14-14. Enemy have a bank on them, so no matter what, they're going to be able to buy just fine. Luminosity is going to have one last gun round to try to bring it back. If they lose that, their 15th round is going to be, or the opponent's 15th round, they're going to have, what? Yeah, pistols, armor, Tech-9, or CZs, something like that. If Luminosity don't take this next round, that's all she wrote, and that's a big upset for this group.
That's a massive upset for this group. As a massive upset, we talked about the E-Battle odds. Damn, if I bet on Enemy here, I would be pretty excited at this point, as, again...
Chad, don't lie. You would never put more than $10 on anything.
It'd probably be less than that, that's the truth, as I'm not necessarily a gambling person,
I'll
but...
throw my paycheck on it. Let's go.
Yeah, and again, Enemy, it was 7.15 or something to that effect, so that's $1 would have got you that. That's pretty impressive, but nonetheless, round 29.
What is $5 warrant to, like 35 point something? Like,
oh, it would have been
so
great.
Good. And if any of you bet on Enemy right now, you better hope you better be clapping your hands right now, because this is getting down to the close nitty gritty stuff. Luminosity already dropping a player. Kusta starts it off. This is amazing for Enemy. We might be seeing a massive upset, and this has incredible ramifications for the rest of the group.
It certainly does, as Kusta boosts up over the smoke in Banana, finds the first frag, and now they have the map at their disposal. Where do they go with things? Obviously the CTs, they're down a player, so how do you play things? Do you play 2 on each side? That looks like the current setup, and passive A plays. They've got Peter playing at Truck, Pit going to be playing Arch side, and then it'll be Lex and Naf over at that B bomb site. They've got Uber. He's going to be sending a little bit of noise over towards this B bomb site. Ooh, are they going for a split? Looks like it's going to be an Arch side split towards the B bomb site through CT spawn. Stuff here from Enemy.
Wow, and ZNF cuts off Pipe. This is looking great for Enemy. They're probably going to take the 15th round. They've already gotten their way into CT spawn. Now comes the split. Still, though, Luminosity do have 2 inside of the site, so if Lex as well as Naf come up massive, round might be turned around. Next, Lex with 3 already. Uber finishes him off. Just Naf remaining. Finishes off the last player, or the second to last player. Only has DNF here. Finishes him off. Wow, Naf. 5 seconds remaining. Realizes what ZNF has to do in that situation is rush. Because you have no other choice, really. You have 5 seconds. You either kill or plant the bomb. And Luminosity, after losing 5 in a row, win the next round to bring themselves to the tie. And I think we're looking at overtime, Chad.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of equipment on the CT side. I see Anger has got a FAMAS helmet, armor, that's it. He's got no nades at all to work with. Luckily, the rest of the team, they've got a little bit. But the downside is, again, they won that in a 1v1 fashion, so they had to buy up everybody except for Naf. So very expensive round, but again, doesn't really matter at this point other than the weapons they have in their hands, as this is the final round of regulation. Either going to be 16-14 or overtime territory. Enemy, like you were stating, so many rounds here on the T side, it would be sad to see them go down this way, as it was Luminosity just barely coming back into things, but they do have an opportunity here, and it looks like they're going to send some players over towards B first and foremost, and they don't have the bomb quite yet. Okay, they are going to bring that up. Banana, it's going to be Uber with Kusta trying to spot out these players. Ryu crosses CT, makes it to Grill. They've got Anger to deal with the second set of oranges. Lex trying to work the smoke at Spindles. They've got 2 players to deal with it. They deal with Lex. Anger, though, on the crossfire comes up with 1 anomaly. 3 frag on a him, but it's going to be Peter. Finds 1 frag,
he
makes
gets
it
out
back through the smoke. Great play from Peter, creates a 3-on-3.
How did he get out of that? That was insane. Enemy needed to be on point with the trade there, but somehow Peter hangs for his life. Kusta with the frag onto Pit. Oh, only down to 1. Naf, can he do it again? Last round he had a 1-2. He can't do it this time. And we're on to overtime. Would you believe it? This is crazy. Enemy looked like they were just going to waltz their way to victory, but instead, we got overtime. And yeah, if it wasn't for Naf, Enemy would have won. Naf, my boy from Source. I just love that he's doing big things here.
Yeah, that was a massive round to bring things back in Luminosity's favor, and they close out, or rather, Enemy closes out that last one there to make it 15-15. So, again, we are moving into overtime. This is going to be decided here and now, and the idea behind things, we've got MR3. So you play 3 rounds on either side, and basically, we're looking for 19 rounds to the winning team. If they both sit at 18, we're going to be playing out a second overtime. And again, guys, we are going to have a Lunatic versus Team Liquid coming up after this. And we're going to find out in a moment here whether or not they're going to wait for it. I imagine they'll wait for us. But again, anyhow, we'll figure that out and let you guys know. Worst case scenario, we'll jump right into that one as soon as overtime ends
wait
here.
For you forever, Chad.
Right. Be waiting all my life for you, Laser. All my life.
I don't know.
All once
know
again.
if I would actually.
Right? Yeah, that sounds like a lot of time. I don't know if you're worth it, man. I'm sorry.
Right? I'm worth about half the time, perhaps.
I'll give you half a lifetime. Maybe not a full one, but half. That'll be fair.
Half-Life 3 confirmed, perhaps?
That's basically what I was going to get at next.
Okay, I thought we were going full Illuminati on it there. I wasn't sure.
Whatever works, right? Whatever the occasion calls for. But again, we're just waiting for these guys to ready up so we can get this overtime underway. As again, we do have 2 matches still left up. We got Lunatic versus Team Liquid, as well as Ace Gaming versus Heat Stars. 2 awesome best-of-ones.
God, we've had such
here.
Bangers tonight to start off our North American Pro Series.
Yeah,
Last
they've been
match,
great ones as well.
amazing to watch. We had Pike this clutch. This match, oh my god.
Yeah, Pitt has been an unbelievable player to watch, and yeah, like you'd stated, his pistol round, that first one to start things off, very, very impressive play. And one thing I want to note here, remember we were talking about how Luminosity, they picked up both pistols, but haven't won the map just yet. Shows a little bit of promise for the enemy side of things, as
I'd have to
losing
agree
both
entirely.
pistols, and they make it to OT. Big results.
So, I mean, doing the math on that, like, if you win both pistol rounds, you have both 3 rounds in your favor, as well as momentum, economically speaking. Like, you have guns and you have more money than your opponent, and you still don't finish off the match. In theory, now that pistol rounds and momentum are out of the question, this should favor enemy.
We'll find out, as Luminosity going to send 3 towards Banana early on here. They send the AWP on Peter, as well as the 2 regular B-side players. You got Anger and Lex slowly lurking up, and on the A side of things, Nap and Kit actually both playing towards porch side, which is one thing that I remember hearing in the reflections with Daze, is the fact that if you are going to have that early player on Banana, you want to have both players of the A-bomb side on truck side, so you don't have them just playing all by themselves, as now you can see Lex coming on that arch side, and this tag team on truck side is still alive and well.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I haven't thought about as well. Like, that's actually brilliant, because if your player comes through and then you're double stacked on the arch side, you eat a flashbang, you eat a smoke, suddenly your player at truck is all alone. It's actually really slick stuff from Luminosity, and it's cool to see that they're utilizing that. We're already down a player, though, for enemy, and trying to work out both players out of Janitor. Here they come, and relinquish control of middle for Luminosity. So, you know, happy with their early advantage, furthering it a little more due to the passivity. Naf and Piss both get 1 apiece, and Pike with another one. Everything going Luminosity's way, and just as we were talking about Luminosity winning both pistol rounds, they come into the first gun round and just smash. Good stuff from Luminosity.
Yeah, definitely. As Kusta now in a situation where, oh, nice shot as he takes down Lex there. So 2 in the round for himself, but now needs to try and retreat to a better situation, and that's actually going to be leg or toe shot or something. Oh, and he backs right into a crossfire. Not fun for him, as the only real way that you can get broke inside of overtime here is if you buy up ops in a number of nades. As you can see, Kusta at 3,400 already. 2nd round, and he's without an actual primary rifle. So not a fun situation for the enemy front, and these rounds, it's so critical to try and get a T round in, at least 1, as again, on a CT-sided map, when you've got such a small sample size, all of a sudden, so much more weight on any of the lesser favorite side rounds that you are able to achieve.
Yeah, bare minimum is 1, and that's, I mean, that's oftentimes all you need. Oh, Pike, goes for some crazy stuff. Rushes through the smoke, tries to follow the train, masks his footsteps with the rest of the opposite team. Interesting decision by Pike, but it's not going to matter. Naf, Anger, Lex, all getting a chunk of the action. And Luminosity moves up 17-15, but I gotta highlight that decision from Pike there. He hears everybody just clomp or stomping the way up mid, and he just decides to rush behind them to mask his movement with their movement. And usually, I'd say that's a North American play rather than a European play.
He's a European trying to make impact in NA. That's the kind of player he is right now. As
right,
good stuff. Well, maybe not good stuff from him there, but good stuff from Peter. Find once again the opening frag, and that's 2 rounds now in overtime. I don't remember who got the opener, and that actually was Pitt. What am I talking about? When he tried to go into all that madness. So that answered my own question, but the other 2 rounds, this one and the first one, Peter, that opening frag, big stuff from him, and now they're going to try and make their way into this B bomb site. Anomaly actually does take down Anger, so it leaves Lex all alone here, and he's down to 25 hit points, so it is going to be he's able to control this bomb site, at least momentarily, but a lot of CTs rotating in very quickly.
Yeah, they're already on their way, double stacking towards Garden. Anomaly with the bomb, can't get it down. Lex peeks out, gets 1, Lex gets 2. How is he staying alive? Already with the triple, down to a 1 versus 2 here. I got Ryu versus the P Squad. Peter as well as Pyth. Peter gets the last kill in Luminosity. We are highlighting that they won both pistol rounds, thus granting them more rounds in regulation. And in theory, that should, demonstrate that enemy should have won the match in overtime based upon the amount of gun rounds they won. But Luminosity switches gears, kicks it into overdrives, and brings it home in overtime. Just good stuff from Luminosity.
And now they're 1 round away. Enemy has to win out on their CT half just to produce a second overtime for us. That is, that's a big task, as it's not even going to give you a win. It's just to keep you inside of the match, which, of course, obviously, they are going to try their hearts out here, try and make it work, but obviously, when there's a scenario inside of the situation where you could still win, that's obviously where they wanted to put themselves after that T-half, but not the case as Luminosity. They grab all 3 of the rounds, and again, only 1 required to put on the board, and let's see what kind of strategy they go for. They've got the entirety of regulation time to look at in the form of what the CTs on enemies front decided to go with, and we see that early banana smoke, and I'm wondering if they're just going to go for the play where they flash it into banana and take down Uber. I've got to think that that's going to be in their minds, as it was so successful in multiple rounds.
It's really surprising that Uber would go for this again. I'm wondering...
Oh, they're going to do it here.
Here it comes. Uber, now realizing his mistakes. He gets out of there, gets out of dodge immediately, but does this cue into Luminosity that Banana is now being rotated upon based upon the way Uber was playing it before? And now we're back to a stalemate. So all of our analytics just go straight out the window, Chad. And we're back at a default situation here. Now Luminosity, it was a bit of a struggle to take up towards Banana, but looking at the amount of nades expended by both teams, this favors Luminosity here. They can still fake back, I mean, either way they want to with the amount of smokes they had. And it looks like they still got their hearts devoted to Banana, however.
Here they come as ZNF going to be able to drop an incendiary right at the front of site. They're going to have to run right through the fire and flame to get in. Uber going to take down 1, ZNF with 1 as well, and now comes up with 2 though, and Lex with 1, and now a 2-on-2. Huge play has come in as now going to try and collect the bomb. He takes out Ryu as he pushes through the front of the smoke. Only Kusta, as he gets fully white screen. They've got 8 seconds to get this bomb set. It would be checkmate if he can take down the bomb planner. He gets Lex 1-on-1, tries to get right into the smoke, get in the face of Lex, but Lex going to play the smoke very carefully here, and the spam spray comes in. They know the location. Kusta, huge round, brings it back for his team. Enemy will take the first round of their CT half on overtime.
That was so crazy from Kusta. How frantic his approach was. Like, his wrist has to be broken. It has to hurt at this point. Like, he's just going into the site, flicking back and forth. I hope his sensitivity is high, or his mouse pad is just gargantuan, because that looked like it was painful. how much flicking he was doing, and that last shot, right? The flick of, I'm not gonna go there.
No,
I'm not gonna make the reference. And you're welcome, Chad.
Thank you, Laser. As we are gonna see again the first round for the CT half on enemy's front, they are gonna pick it up. So 2 rounds, and they will find their way into second overtime here. Luminosity, how do they change things up? I had a feeling. We had a pretty good read on what LG was going for there. Again, trying to abuse Uber as he plays inside of that banana area all by his
It's still
lonesome.
the right choice in my eyes.
Yeah, and they actually pop a flash over the smoke, making them think that it could be, again, another banana play, but we can see there's no actual force behind it, and it's going to be Kusta finds 1 as they try and work up Arch side. He finds a second one as well. Lex going to get blindsided by Ryu as Kusta will get dropped by Anger. Anger with 2 frags And now it's only him and Nowfly left with the bomb and 45 seconds left in the middle of the map.
And Uber here thinking about flanking down towards Banana. You know he's been itching the whole entire game to utilize that spot in that manner. And rotating back towards CT is ZNF. A little wary that Luminosity could be working up in towards their spawn. Anger working up. Now gets spotted, but already on the other side is Luminosity. Now smoking off Library. Pivoting hardcore is Luminosity. Rotating back and forth. Just Anger remaining with very little time left in enemy. Making it 17-18. We may be looking at double overtime. And you're talking about perhaps the other matches waiting. I don't know what their schedule's like, if that's going to be allowed or not.
Yeah, we'll find out. I do believe Lunatic and Team Liquid are currently waiting for us. So we'll let you guys know if there is any action we are going to miss. We'll make sure you guys are aware of it. We're not going to keep you in the dark. But here we go. Last round of the first overtime. Is Luminosity going to take the map? Or is it going to be a second OT caused by a 3-round win out from both sides on their CT front? And we take a look at the CT setup. They've got Kusta and Uber working at Banana. And this is interesting as Kusta usually, again, had that big play that last round from Arch side. So they send him to Banana instead, thinking that the pressure's going to be here. Yeah, this is going to work out great for Luminosity as now they do not have to deal with Kusta as they take towards A.
And this was the issue before for enemy. They rotated Kusta back, but in the previous round that I'm thinking of, the Arch side player had already went down. Deja vu or not is the question. I hope to avoid deja vu at all costs. It's a very uncomfortable feeling for me, but here come Luminosity onto ZNF. Oh, Ryu and Anomaly, one apiece. Still trying to take in, but 2 players inside of the pit. Very tricky setup from enemy. We're looking at double overtime here. Unless the B squad can do it once more, they can't get it done. We're going to double OT. Enemy, bring it back. 3 rounds on their CT side, matching Luminosity. And I might even go as far to say as in an even more decisive manner. So, ooh, Chad, we got a match.
We definitely have a match on our hands here. Second overtime is going live here in just a moment, and we have been informed, I do believe, that Team Liquid versus Lunatic is now going to go live. They were saying if it goes to a second OT, unfortunately, we can't really wait any longer. We're going to have to get that going. So I believe they are going to get that going. Whether or not it'll be on our second channel or anything like that, again, we'll keep you posted. At least in the meantime, it does not have a broadcast set up for it. So we'll just jump into it as soon as this one comes to a close. So hopefully we don't miss too much there. But again, this match definitely is proved to be very epic. Quite honestly, I'm happy to stick in here as, yeah, again, we might actually be able to set it up on that second channel. So again, we'll keep you posted.
You wanna split up, Chad? Go 1-on-1 or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather just cuddle with you.
Right, exactly. I kind of like our duo here. I think we're gonna keep it the way that we're at right now. We might be able to get Bach on that second channel. Again, we'll let you guys know what's going on there, but we do have our second OT going on in just a moment, and Luminosity now on their T side.
Right before this goes live, Chad, I need to go turn my air conditioning on. I am dying.
All right, you go right for it, my friend. As again, Luminosity on the T side. It's gonna be interesting to see now that they start on the T side of things. They can get around it. Again, they just had 3 rounds where they saw more or less what enemies playing like on these overtime rounds. How does that change the way they play? Again, they had some success working up Banana, flashing through that smoke in regulation time. The first round on their T side, they try and do it, and Uber has a pretty good read on it and just falls back and doesn't give anything to them. So interesting the way that developed, and I think of that last round there, that's why they decided to put Kusta with Uber, as they suspected, okay, there's one way that we know, surefire, we should be able to get around it. Let's try that Banana play once again. But they didn't actually end up going for it. And like Laser had highlighted, that was actually one of the mistakes that they had made in the regulation time, whereas Kusta, because he wasn't able to help out at Arches, instead they had a different player there, didn't have the same impact that Kusta did with his op. Luckily, though, for enemy, they're able to pick up the round, and we see the second overtime now underway. And again, Luminosity on the T side. They get that op on Peter right from the get-go, and I do have to agree, Canada is a great place, Uber. I agree with that statement. As enemy, they've got Kusta with his AWP, and does he peek down mid early? Looks like that's going to be the name of the game for Peter, on the other hand. Ooh, he's actually going for a bit of a mid peek as well. Bomb on his back. It always interests me if maybe they just don't realize that the bomb on his back is, again, if he gets peeked by anybody, immediately on that radar, they're going to see that come up. But nonetheless, no engagement goes down, and Luminosity just playing a little bit slow here. I got a feeling, though, that at some point they're going to try, once again, this banana play. As we can see Uber, the only one behind that smoke, and last time Uber was able to get out of there using a critical incendiary that allowed him to do so. It basically stopped the Luminosity guys from pushing any further. This time, he only has a flashbang to work with, and again, we'll see if that's where they're going to go. It makes me think they are going to go that way, and as I say that, they do so, as they were hanging around top of T-stairs, and Uber falls off. They're not able to punish him, though.
Yeah, Uber playing with fire, or I should say light, being Luminosity. Gets out of there in time. Now here they come. Ooh, Uber gets spotted out in the back. This might be Luminosity's entrance into this round. Ooh, taken out by Black. DNF taking a tricky spot inside the smoke. Can't finish him off. Finally, Pyth does. And this first T-side round in quite some time for either of these two teams. Naf and Pyth, one apiece. Ryu, as well as Kusta, go down. And wow, I don't know how Anomaly took that long to get way over there, but I guess you could attribute it to the way Luminosity has been playing and having a player, lurking about. Perhaps Anomaly a little aware of that. Pyth, if he can continue that, he is tired. He wants to go to bed. Pyth is ready for his bed. He's ready to frag right now.
Exactly. Gotta get this done and over with. And finally, we see a T-side round come in overtime. So is that going to be the turning point? As again, in the last overtime, we had 3 rounds for both CT halves. So Luminosity with a big advantage now that they've put one onto the field. If they can get anything more, that's just icing on the cake. But the one round is going to feel great for them. And where they go with things now? They've got Peter once again, bomb on his back. He's got his op moving up towards mid. They're going to smoke off towards truck side, and Anger just knife out, hopping around corners. He's just going to try and take him run to the fire before his team can refire, but it's going to be Ryu and Anomaly to take down 2. Finally, Anger hopping into the bomb site, takes down Anomaly from behind. We can see an awkward situation here as Pit and Kuzma holding hands inside of the smoke there. Eventually, it's going to be only Peter left as he gets the bomb set. 1-on-3, has 2 players pretty low, though.
Let's see if Peter can whip off that AWP. Nope.
The run and gun. The drive
around the corner. Hits him with the easy E. We are in North America. I can make that reference. I don't think you got it, though, Chad. Did you?
The easy E. I'm trying to think of boxer sorts, correct? No?
No, he was a rapper.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. I'm remembering back to my just playing boxing games and such, and I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure there was a guy with that nickname. Anyhow, giant heavyweight. Nonetheless, 19-19. Not quite.
Oh, man. But so Luminosity got the first they put the first round up on the T side in overtime. Can enemy match that is the question. That round got a little scary at the beginning for them, but couldn't close it out. And now going with a different setup. Luminosity want to take in towards B. Generally, they've been met with just one player here early, and that's Uber. So it doesn't surprise me that enemy was willing to stick around a little bit extra, a little longer with both their players there. And just the mind games. It's so nice to see these two teams like actually battling in that sense, rather than just running and gunning. Just both teams making minor adjustments, minor adaptations, and unfortunate that we don't see any of it get put to use due to some nades.
Exactly. As I do want to let you guys know once again that the Team Liquid and Lunatic game has gone live, and we're going to jump into that as soon as this one comes to a close. But we're going to see a B-side fake as Peter's going to stick around and provide a little bit of noise towards that bomb site as the rest of the team, they're pushing up lane right now towards truck side, and they're going to have one player, Ryu,
look at this
spammable box, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. Anomaly and Ryu both get dropped immediately.
That was so tricky. Anomaly tried to get real fancy with his movement. Instead, leaves his teammate Ryu alone in the site. So if Ryu doesn't get any kills or doesn't make the first engagement, Anomaly really doesn't have anything to go off of if he gets flanked or if he doesn't engage quickly. And off of that, Luminosity win the round. So the story I'm seeing And the reason that Luminosity are probably going to win this match at this point is due to their CT side mistakes. We saw Uber numerous times push down Banana alone, give the round to Luminosity as a result. This time, instead of just playing default, which has been working for both teams, or playing a little bit more passive, there's no reason to go for any risks at this point. Anomaly leaves Ryu alone in the site, tries to go for some tricky play, flanking around through the apartments, coming out Janitor, and they lose the round as a result. So now they make it way harder on themselves. If they want to win this match right now, they have to win out this half of overtime. If they want to stay in it, they got to win 2 on their T side, and they haven't been able to win 1 in overtime yet. So that little mistake may have just costed them the match.
Look at this, not a single op in this this part of overtime, as usually, again, we saw Kusta and Peter both utilizing those weapons, and even in overtime, again, Peter finding 2 big openings on 2 of their overtime rounds, so very interesting, as it's going to be a B-side play. Anger takes down 2 immediately, takes 0 damage as well to boot, and wow, that's a fantastic way for Luminosity to start the round. If I'm enemy, this is a very nerve-wracking situation, as like you were stating, they need to do a lot on this T-side half, and that's going to be the way you start things off. It leaves a lot to be sought after.
And this player's got to go into beast mode or something. We need entry picks for the enemy side, and we need a lot of them. As I don't think Luminosity, they're not giving any of that to them. Oh, like, we have 2 players inside of the B-bomb site. Barely any of them are peeking. Ooh, Lex gets little out of position, but already PTR on the way. Lex trying to spam away onto the head. Wow, big fail from Luminosity here. I can't believe Lex and his teammate both just whiffed everything. But Peter thankfully comes in for Luminosity and saves the day, getting 2 big frags. Just Kusta remains. This man's got the magic. Can he do it again? Finishes off Peter, but look at the patience on Luminosity. They're going to make sure Kusta taps away on the bomb before they peek, and that's exactly how you play the scenario.
Oh, he is going to spam down Nafly now, only Pit to deal with, and Pit just waiting, biding his time, knows that the bomb needs to be set, and wherever Kusta places it, there's going to be some sort of vulnerability, and Pit coming around the corner, checks towards Fountain, realizes where the plant's at. What a read, as he knows he's at the second set of oranges. He second guesses himself for a moment, but drops him to 4 hit points. Kusta with the fake flash, but Pit is it going to take him down through the... I'm surprised we didn't actually get a wall bang symbol there. I swore that was through the corner of the box, but nonetheless, Pit
weird.
Comes up with the frag, as there was some craziness when they first entered the bomb site, and Kusta almost takes it. But it's going to be Pit to now move it up to match point territory for Luminosity.
And I have to highlight, like, as much as Naf is my boy and he's my friend, that was an amateur move by him. In that 1 versus 2, Kusta has to plant the bomb, right? So when you're planting the bomb, you can't shoot people. So you're basically in a 0 versus 2 in that situation. If you as far as like the threat of you being able to kill somebody. So the fact that Naf peeked out, he gave Kusta a perfect scenario to win that 1 versus 2. That was the opportunity Kusta was looking for. Thankfully, for Naf, Pyth played it correctly, but that's just that's a mistake that Naf really needs to fix before he can move on to the next level.
Yeah, playing with your team, very critical, and knowing the current situation, knowing when to peek and when not to. Obviously, you highlight that a heck of a lot, as even if the round's won, it's still worth to note those kind of mistakes, as
that
is going to
be
the
versus
difference.
Fnatic or Envy or something. Like, that mistake will get capitalized on.
Exactly, as Luminosity, again, 1 round away from closing things out. Enemy taking things pretty slowly here, and understandably so. They know what's on the line. Don't want to make any mistakes, as they're going to send 2 from Boiler. The downside with this is that sometimes speed is what is required, but they are going to opt to go for a bit of a slower play. With 30 seconds left, they move the bomb back up Banana. They're going for a split play, as Ryu is going to try and come into CT spawn. It's going to be Peter and Pit to open up in the round. Finally, some frags come in, but they do leave B a little bit vulnerable. So Kusta, Uber, they have the work cut out for them, as now quick rotating in are 2 of the CTs.
Peter with a big whiff, but I don't think it's going to matter. Uber gets taken down, and Luminosity finally end the match. And I think, you know, the odds were like 7 to 1.